Ooh, there I am. There I am. Okay, so hey everybody, Lester here, Longhorn Lester here, and I'm coming to you live from Longhorn Lester's. So it looks like I'm blurry. It looks like I'm blurry. So I am using the new app that we've got that we pay for. It's called StreamYard. I'm not promoting them, but what they do is allow us the ability to bring all of our platforms together onto one computer or phone. And I'm using my laptop, and I'm just curious if everything's okay as far as the sound, as far as the picture. I do feel like it looks blurry to me, and that might be because I'm trying to give you the backdrop so we can enjoy this beautiful rain together. Cindy just asked, oh, it's going so fast. Where can she find the video of moving the ostriches? Uh, a lot of people are talking about no pee pads today. Isn't that funny? And then, of course, we have to give a shout out to our friends up north, our Canadian family, um, because it says blurry here on Facebook. So Facebook says that you're blurry. I'm guessing if it's blurry on Facebook, then it has to be blurry on the other platforms because I think it pulls them all together. Someone says it looks weird, but I don't mind. A little bit blurry, but it sounds good. Okay, so Facebook is blurry. So it might just be the poor internet because over here at Longhorn Lester's, we do not have the good fiber internet. It's still the old copper lines, which isn't that funny. For the longest time, we couldn't get any service. And now we're complaining about copper lines, but blurry on Facebook. That's fine. But I'm not blurry in Oklahoma. Okay, that's very nice. I'm blurry on Facebook, but not in Oklahoma. So happy Canada Day. Happy. Y'all hear that frog? Can y'all hear that? Now that's kind of reminds me of Nate back at the other property over at I'm a Survivor. You go and you start doing a live video, and Nate wants to start, crowing. And over here, we got a little frog that came out of nowhere. I can't see him because he's hiding behind one of these plants, but he is certainly going to let us hear it. Anyway, I'm going to try to do something if I can. Now, I like this app because it allows us to also post some of your questions. If you guys just would not post so fast, because that's the hard thing is trying to keep up. There, that's from Lisa Bernhardt, and she shows the Canadian flag with that Canadian leaf, which is pretty awesome. And yes, so it is Canada Day. And so I'm not certain about the significance of Canada Day, but I'm guessing it's equivalent to our 4th of July, when I'm guessing Canada won its independence. And so you'll have to forgive me, Canadian friends, of not knowing exactly why you celebrate Canada Day, but I bet you it has to do with your independence. I'm just guessing. And so, yes, that would be the Canadian flag, and that's the maple leaf that shows on there. We were actually gifted some maple syrup from Canada a while back, and that was really neat. So I know that the maple leaf, and I, I'm guessing you guys have a lot of maple trees there. I don't know this for a fact either, but I believe that the way you harvest that syrup is you tap into the tree and that syrup begins to siphon out. I might be wrong about that, but I did see that at some point. I think the Native Americans did that. And so, anyway, so Lester, someone wants to know what a pea pad is. Okay. Lester, someone wants to know what a pea pad is. Ha 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 ha. And then they do the LOL. Jennifer Wentland wants me to answer this question, and I'll be more than happy to. We're a little bit early, and so I normally try to come live at noon. And so today I was just so excited to have the rain in the background. I wanted to come outside and see if I could kind of capture some of this backdrop for you all. I'm still trying to find the perfect camera spot, but someone says you don't want to know. You do not want to know. It's just a funny expression that I've been using to sort of equivalent to what a lot of people are calling Karens of the world. And I hate that for Karens because I know so many sweet, loving, kind Karens. But I sometimes joke about Peepat. Now, Peepat, the true Peepat, was my grandmother from my mama's side of the family. And I love Peepat, guys. Don't get me wrong. I had four amazing grandparents who have all passed, and but they were always good to me. They were always good to me. But the thing is, I was making a video recently. I think I posted that video this morning on to YouTube. I'm a Survivor. I talked a little bit about Peepat, the person, and as for as many things that I felt like she had to be positive for in life, all of the blessings that God had showered on her, she wasn't able to find joy, and she wasn't able to find happiness, and she wasn't able to find peace, I don't think, within. And that's unfortunate because I feel like for the years that I was, blessed to have a grandmother, Peepat, she just wasn't a very happy person. And she was that person who would, she would come to all of our family events, and she'd kind of plop down. And at that point, it was just every conversation piece was about something negative. And then she always had something to say about what someone was wearing or about what someone wasn't wearing. Or, I mean, you name it. There was just always something. And so, as much as I love my grandparents, and, God rest them and God bless them. And it was just, we all had made the expression Peepat was just kind of an expression that we've all used since she passed away to describe someone who was kind of in a lousy mood, someone who was kind of being a grouch, someone who just wasn't being, very positive or uplifting. And it doesn't diminish the fact that that Peepat was my grandmother and that she loved us, and she showed love in some ways, but she was just a kind of a negative Nancy, I think, is another expression that we use a whole lot. And so that is that was that's my Peepat. God bless her soul. Anyway, so let's I see so many questions coming through, and I will try to grab them if I can, but it's not going to be easy. Someone says we can all be peepats at times, and yes, I do agree with that. We all can be peepats at times, but I'm hoping you hear that frog. I'm trying to figure out if I'm reversed or not. Yes, it's true. We can all be peepats at times, but I don't think that you ever want to make peepat a part of become who you are or who you are known for. No one wants to be known as a peepat. So trust me, I will be the first to admit that I have bad days, and I know that we all have bad days. Someone says a peepat to her is like a chronic complainer, to put it mildly. And yeah, I would agree. Oh no, what is this? What is this? That's so funny. If you've been exposed to a peepat, you may be entitled to compensation. 1-800-STOP peepat. My mom's going to kill me if she watches this. My mom's not watching this, but if she were watching this, she would kill me for that. So happy Canada Day, and don't be a peepat. But if you've been exposed to a peepat, you may be entitled to compensation. If you call that number right there that Nikki provided, 1-800-STOP peepat. I am so sorry. I'm happy to say that yes, we have July 4th coming up, which is our Independence Day, but Liberty County has done a burn ban, and that means they've also had to ban fireworks. So it's crazy that all these fireworks stands are popping up all up and down the neighborhood, and now they put a ban on fireworks because of the threat of fire. And that's actually a good thing for us because even though we all enjoy a nice fireworks show, the animals don't. A lot of the animals do not. They're terrified on those particular nights when people begin to pop their fireworks. It scares the animals. Therefore, the longest time, we didn't have any neighbors who lived close enough to affect the animals with their fireworks. But now, with the new neighborhood right across the street, when those fireworks start going up and everything's popping and everyone's celebrating and doing their thing, it can be pretty scary. And so the animals try to find places to hide. We've lost dogs on those nights. We've had breakouts from the animals, and they're just terrified. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go to get away from the noise and all the things that they're not familiar with. So, with the lack of rain, it's been tough on everybody. But the one good thing is that they've put a ban on fireworks sales. And so I'm hoping that because we're getting rain today, they won't change their mind and reopen everything just in time for the July 4th weekend. But you never know. Um, anyway, so no, a peapad is not an old person. I would never make fun of someone's age, but it's sincerely someone that just goes through life feeling bitter and looking for ways. So yeah, I don't mean to confuse you on that. But that's funny that you all have learned that expression, and sometimes people use it. And so, Nikki, I got a laugh out of your comment. So thank you very much. Another thing that we're talking about. So, well, I will go ahead and address this real fast. You should give melatonin. And so we've done that before, but not all animals will take melatonin. And so you have to decide, some will take it, some won't. And you can't force it down anybody's throat. But yeah, there have been some animals that we have given melatonin to, especially our dogs, because they're the ones that can get really scared. And well, we've had some dogs run off before. Now we've always got them back, but they've always run off during some of those times. You want to talk about Charlie? That's our little ostrich, male, not Tat, the larger baby, but the smaller of the three ostrich babies. Charlie, uh, I noticed a couple of mornings ago that he had a little bit of a hobble, a little bit of a limp, and I wasn't real sure why. So I caught him and I kind of examined his legs, and I noticed down on his foot there on the toe where the talon comes out, it was had a little bit of swelling around it. And I had Jamie touch it and feel on it. So we don't think anything's broken, but he doesn't want to put all of his weight on his on that one particular leg, and he does have a little bit of a hop, a little hobble to his step. And so it's always scary when you talk about the ostriches and leg injuries, because everyone knows that an ostrich can't live on one leg. That's why we're so blessed that Wanda was able to recover from her frostbite on the leg that she has injured. And for anyone who might be new, who might not know the story of the ostriches, you know that Wanda, she wears the blue band around her upper right leg, her right leg, I believe. She got stuck in a frozen pond during a horrific ice storm we had a couple of years back. And the fellow who had the ostriches, he noticed that there was one missing when he went out that morning to feed. And so he began to look around for her and found her stuck in the pond with one leg being, stuck in the water, stuck in the ice. And so he pulled her out. She was unable to walk. So he got her to the barn using his tractor bucket, which sounds horrible and scary. She did have some frostbite issues. And so he knew that she would never be able to live a normal life with the other ostriches. And so he reached out to us and offered her up for surrendered her to our rescue and sanctuary. And Wanda's doing great, but we don't really know if Wanda will ever be able to keep up with the other ostriches, especially when it comes to their mating. And if you don't know what I mean by that, it's a bizarre mating ritual that the ostrich family partakes in. So what the females normally do is they challenge the male to a race. And I'm going to put this into funny terms. I'm going to put this into fun terms because I'm not going to get vulgar. I could, but I'm not going to. So in a fun way, the ostrich female will challenge the male to a race. And during that race, she will put him through all kinds of an obstacle course. And she will do spins and turns and ups and downs. And it's quite fun to watch. And it's funny to watch. Very, very entertaining. And so once she's run him ragged, once she's run him, and if he keeps up, if he can keep up, then she'll finally go ahead and submit and allow him to have his way. At that point, he thinks he's the king, and he puts on this little strut. He does this little dance. And if you've never seen the mating rituals of the ostriches, then that's something that you should, at some point, YouTube and watch, because that's pretty funny. And but the unfortunate thing is, we don't think that Wanda will ever be able to put Carl through that kind of a race. And in saying so, Carl does not find her to be attractive. That's sad. And then the other ostriches, the Debbie and Tina, treat her differently. They pick on her because she's not able to participate and be a part of that whole ritual. And it's sad to me, but isn't it also very similar to how people are in life? Not just, for women that are unable to bear children, but I mean, there's so many things that are animals, and Mother Nature can be very brutal. It can be very, very brutal. And sometimes you realize that people are no different than animals in so many different ways. Well, in fact, we're animals, but the way we treat each other sometimes, the way we especially pick on those that are different than us or don't have the same. Oh, I'm at a loss of words. I'm trying to make sure that I get everything right here, but I think that you know what I mean. It is sad for Wanda. So we were hoping that Wanda would be able to have her very own pasture and possibly have a chance to partner up with. When I say partner, I don't mean mating partner necessarily, but just have a partner in little Charlie. And how strange that now Charlie has a little limp. So those two in the same pasture would just be so cute. Now, if you're wondering why I brought Wanda and Charlie along with us on our trip to Longhorn Lester's, it's just because of the fact I have already addressed this in videos, but some folks can't catch every video. But I wanted to keep them all together for now. I didn't want to cause any unnecessary stress. I felt like with the grass situation back at I'm a Survivor, the fact that all of our grass is dead or dying, the heat, guys, it's been extremely hot, and there's not a whole lot of shade out in that pasture. Um, I'm having to be back and forth to make sure they get water. There's constant watering, water, 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 which has been pretty scary. The fact that it's just been so dry and so hot and no rain. And so I loaded them, and I thought I'll just bring them all. And so they're all here where they can all be together to keep an eye on each other until we can figure everything out. And there's a lot that we're trying to figure out still. And this is I think anytime that you move, especially when you move babies, when I mean animals, you always have to not only consider what's best for you, but what's best for each and every animal. And I've been trying to do that. I've upset a lot of people, but ultimately I have to have the executive decision making ability to do what's best for the animals. That's a pledge that I've made to the animals. When we bring an animal in, we have to think about everything that would give them, in fact, their best life. And sometimes what might give an animal their best life might not always be what you feel like gives you your best life, because you want to see animals here, you would want to see animals there. And so it was cute. But it really, I say it was cute. Yesterday in a video, there was a lady who said, I'm not watching anymore. I'm done watching because everything's changing. And I'm a Survivor. It's not the way it used to be. It's all about Longhorn Lester's. And I was a little bit taken back. I was a little bit taken back by the comment, but I was actually very happy to see how many people rushed up and jumped in and says, wait a minute, lady, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Because I'm a Survivor still post a video every single day. And every single morning at 8 o'clock or on Facebook, 5 a.m., there's always a video. I'm a Survivor has not skipped a beat as far as their video content. And so ultimately, the only thing that's changed is that you may see different animals at different locations, but we have made sure that we've taken it upon ourselves to make sure that we include videos of the animals every day. And so there's not a day that goes by that you will not see a video from I'm a Survivor. And there's a lot of animals to love there. There's a lot of animals that need your love, and they will forever need your love. And those are animals that we hope will be able to live out their entire lives at I'm a Survivor. Many were born there, and some have just become such a part of I'm a Survivor that they need that normalcy. They don't need changes in their life. And so, yeah, I have talked about that a few times, but I want to thank the folks who acknowledge that and you know, were really quick to jump and point that out to a lady. I'm not trying to say the lady doesn't have a right to go watch other channels if, in fact, this channel's not providing her a happy place. But no, I do admire the fact that you realize that if you take each and every animal on an individual level and you look at the life they have here or the life they have here and try to figure out what's in their best interest. And that's what we do. And so, unfortunately, not everyone understands that, but that's why there has to be an ultimate decision maker, and that happens to be me. I do always consult with Jamie and my older son Le, and then Jake, who helps out over there. We always try to make sure we're on the same page and we all have an understanding of why we're doing what we're doing and the process in doing so. And then, so we have a troll alert. Troll alert. Thank you for pointing that out. It's horrible if you are known in life as a troll. Wouldn't that be just a horrible thing to be known as? I don't have anyone to help me moderate, so, and I really don't want to spend my time here focusing on that. And so, what I would advise you to do, instead of watching what the troll is doing, if the troll doesn't get your attention, then at some point he'll get bored and go somewhere else. And just know that that's the way life is. You know, a lot of people need attention, and some people shout out for attention in different ways. And I think that the people that you refer to as trolls, that I call peep hats, are just angry, hurt, upset. But I don't want to make this live about that. We're talking about the animals. All right, so let me look over here, and someone goes, "You did a troll zapper." No, I think that they will get their just desserts. Um, yeah, here's a good one. Where does that go? Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Guys, they're going so fast. You guys are going too fast. Oh my gosh, I can't even touch or pinpoint a a comment because they're moving like this. So I wish there was an option to slow it down, to literally make these slow down, where you'll all get your chance to ask your questions, but they have to be slow enough to where I can read them. And I would like to also put them on the screen so we can all talk about them together. So, all right, hold on. I'm going to try to do this, my friends. So someone says you can change your chat mode to slow. Yes, on YouTube you can do that. On Facebook you can't. And then when I'm using the new platform, it's called StreamYard, it doesn't give me an option to slow down the chat. Oh, I wish it did. And if there is a way, then I'll be happy to figure that out. But the fellow who told me about this is Jason over at Cog Hill. He's learned how to do this, and now he's taught us how to do it, and it has changed our lives. Someone says, touch the page. Touch the page. Uh, you don't want me touching things, guys. What's this over here, Sam? There are still lots of animals at I'm a Survivor Donkey and Farm Animal Sanctuary, and now they'll have room for more rescues. So that is very true. Thank you, Bonita, for understanding and saying that. Wow, is that a French last name? And how in the world would anyone ever pronounce that? Uh, that's beautiful. Bonita would be Spanish, which means pretty, Bonita, and then her last name is French. So that is a neat combo of, you have a little Spanish, a little French, you put them together, and that's what you come up with. That's beautiful. But yes, there is more room to, there's more room to grow now at I'm a Survivor. There are still lots of animals there. We have all of our pigs are at I'm a Survivor. We have the majority of our goats. I think we have 9 goats over at I'm a Survivor. The pigs will never move. I've talked about that on both platforms. The pigs will never move because they need the resources of the pond and they need what I'm a Survivor has to offer. The alpacas, come on, my friends, Annie and Ernie will never move because Annie and Ernie need the safety, the protection, the openness, the grass at I'm a Survivor. Annie and Ernie would not do well here at Longhorn Lester's. The 9 goats that we have at I'm a Survivor do struggle. And I know that those who watch the channels in the videos, you know that we've tried to find ways to accommodate and adjust. And that's what we do as they're human. We find ways to accommodate and adjust the same way as a teacher. That frog is going to really get on my nerves. Can you all hear that? It's one of those tree frogs, I bet you. And it's because of the rain. They're going to say, hey, anybody want to hook up? Anybody want to Netflix and chill? This is their kind of weather. But as a teacher for years, you get a classroom of kids, 25, 30, 35 students, and you begin to realize they all have unique needs. They all have different needs. And that could be academic needs, it could be socially developmental needs, it could be, I mean, you name it, socioeconomic needs. They all have different needs. And so it becomes your job as their classroom teacher to identify who's who and what they need to have their best year possible, to find success in the classroom. And so, in saying so, there's no different as far as taking care of the animals. When you bring an animal in, you begin to observe the animal the same way you would observe the student, and you have to understand that this animal or this child has different needs. And so, what can you do? It becomes your job to provide for this animal at this in this case what they need to live their best life or to find success. And so that's what makes a good classroom teacher great, when they can find a way to meet all of those different needs. It means adjusting your lessons. Oh, this frog! I hope that you're enjoying yourself. Really, this would be the kind of thing that if I had other issues, would just drive me bananas. I'm anyway. So go frog. Okay, he's giving you his feedback. He just wants to hook up. Okay. um. So anyway, so yes, we are our struggle right now with the goats at I'm a Survivor is finding ways for them to forage because they need that in their diet. And so what I've done every morning or every afternoon is taking the goats out for nature walks. I feel like I've made so many videos about that I'm going to begin to start hearing the peepats complain about it. All I see is goats in the nature. But that will eventually happen. But ultimately, as a video blogger or a vlogger, that's what you do. You video what you're doing. And so one thing that I do every day is I let the goats out for a walk. And of course, Annie will normally come along, sometimes Ernie. They don't come for the foraging, they just come for the adventure. A lot of times, Pig Trudy or Pig Newton will come along just for the adventure. And we have a lot of fun doing that. It gives me a great chance. There's Lana. Hi, Lana. Lana Shea. Her comment went by so fast, but I recognized her name. Um, yeah, so the goats are trying to find ways to accommodate to their special needs. I'll just say we're trying to accommodate to their special needs in the fact that they need foraging. Now, you're going to say, well, wait, wouldn't the goats have a better life over there at Longhorn Lester's? The answer is yes. By far, yes, they would. It would also give us a chance to cleanse their pastures, maybe like on a rotating type system. But the things that would worry me about that is the fact that you have your Ringo, who's going to forever struggle now with arthritis. And he has a painkiller that we give him. And so those on the days that we administer that, it does help. So Ringo would struggle having to make a move. And so we think about different animals and how they would struggle. And you can't leave Ringo by himself because Ringo has gotten used to this is his herd. This is his family. And so you take their goats and you leave, Then you got to worry about Annie and what is in Annie's best interest. So Annie can't leave I'm a Survivor. Annie has to be there, yet she's gotten used to those are her babies. She protects them. She's known them since she's lived here. And so it is a whole lot of thinking, guys, maybe a lot more than what sometimes you realize. And so for as fast as you sometimes for as fast as you complain or get upset about something, just know that hours and hours and days of our lives have gone into thinking about this. If the so we're trying to adjust and accommodate. And so that's another thing too. A lot of folks say that they miss not seeing text, and then someone else was fast to answer. It says, well, you got to watch the Longhorn Lester videos. And so that is true. I do put all of the animals here at Longhorn Lester's have a channel that's dedicated to them. It is Longhorn Lester's. And then you have the folks who are saying that you only opened the new channel for more money. And so ultimately, I have a lot of folks that would not agree to be a part of the Longhorn Lester videos. So they don't approve of the purchase of more land and things. And so don't think that anything ever happens on a whim. Hi, Lana. Lana's back. And I know it's Lana. I used to call her Lana, but now I know it's Lana because she said it rhymes with banana. So Lana Banana. And Lana is Canadian. So she's one of our family from up north. And she's been very good to us. So, and so now I see someone asking about July 4th fireworks. And I did already touch on that a little bit, but absolutely, the animals are terrified by the fireworks. And that's one thing that I'm blessed for being here at Longhorn Lester's. We're not going to have an issue with fireworks. And I'm hoping that because of the burn ban and the ban on sale of fireworks, they'll also have police out enforcing that. And so if they hear fireworks going off or in Plum Grove area, they'll have police to go out there and enforce the no firework ban. And so that will make it a little bit easier this year than it has in years past. So, so Eileen Robbins says, I watch both channels and love them to pieces. So, Eileen, I appreciate you saying that. And everyone should know that both channels are very different. I don't post them at the same time. I post I'm a Survivor videos in the morning, and then I post Longhorn Lester videos in the afternoon. And I know you can't watch all the videos, and you're already, we're competing with each other already. I know that many of you guys have just fallen for Brienne and her sense of humor. And so on days that Brienne posts videos, I get less views. And I'm like, gosh, darn it, Brienne. And so we have our own little thing going over there with Brienne because, oh, well, this is funny too. The days that Jake don't post, me, Jamie, Ellie, our views jump up. So as much as you get upset about Jake not making a video, I'm like, cha-ching, yeah, baby. So yeah, you guys keep making Jake mad, and I will be more than happy to sit back and just watch as the views on our videos continue to climb. That's horrible. But it could be the same way. Now, of course, we all do it jokingly. There at I'm a Survivor, we all joke, with each other about it. They're on Morrow Hill, I mean. Um, but there will come a time, I believe, that where whenever Bree's kids get older and she has more time, I bet you Bree will begin to post more videos than just 2 or 3 days a week. And then I know that whenever Jamie reaches the age of retirement, yeah, that's where I am, then I bet you she'll be able to do more videos than what she does right now. But I've devoted my life to just driving a school bus and making videos, and that's all I do. And so I'm able to make 2 videos a day, one for I'm a Survivor and one for Longhorn Lester's. I am at both properties every day. And so what do? I come over here and I do my job. And my job is caring for the animals. That requires sometimes building things or moving things around or adjusting things. And then, so I video what I do. And then later in the afternoons during my bath time, I take my video footage and I build the videos and then I upload. And so it's not hard. It's not hard. It's my job. It's my job. And so it's the best job I've ever had. As much as I love teaching, and as much as I love or miss, having, the students to, to build and bond relationships and help them along on their paths, to adulthood. I love what I do now. I really do. I love it, and I cannot complain about stuff like that. So, and so thank you. So Teresa Eulinghake says, "Is it raining?" And it's actually stopped raining now, Teresa, but we did get an inch of rain overnight. I know that because we have a rain gauge right there behind me. And so, here's a good question. How do I go back to it? Give me 1 second over here. Ooh. Oh, I've already lost it. I am so sorry. Um, so someone else, here we go. This is not the one I was looking for, but it says, "Why did you move your cats to Longhorn Lester's?" So we didn't move all of the cats. We did bring some of the cats. You all remember how we had a mice issue in our barn dominium over at I'm a Survivor, and those cats were what were able to rid the barn of the mice. And so when we began to spend more time here in the shop, and of course I have the garage, and now I have the cow barn where I have different feeds and we brought different things, I began to notice there was a mice issue. You can tell when there's mice. And so what I did was simply divided the cats in half, and I brought half over here and I left half back at I'm a Survivor. The cats that we brought over here were the same cats that helped rid the mice from the barn dominium over at the other property. So here's something kind of interesting. Lester, do you own both properties? The answer is no. Lester only owns Longhorn Lester's. I'm a Survivor is owned by my dad, and my dad has never deeded off property to me or my brother. And I know at some point in his life he will, but as of now, my dad still chooses to hold on to the property. So I'm a Survivor does not belong to Lester. It does belong to my dad, which his name is Lester. So if you start trying to Google it and you see that Lester Morrow owns all this big chunk of property, that would be my dad, Lester Sr. I'm Lester Jr., and my son, L.E., is Lester the Third. But no, I only own Longhorn Lester's. Oh, and what a good feeling it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I remember the videos that I made when I first purchased this property. I'm going to start crying now. I'm not, there's no reason to cry. Those emotions are already over. But I never owned anything in all of my life. I'd always had a car note. So you don't really own your car if you're still paying a note. And I've never owned anything, not really, as far as owning something of significance. And so when I was able to take the monies that I'd made from YouTube and purchase this property, um, it was just a very, I don't want to use the wrong word choice here, but it just felt good. There's a better word than good, to be able to have that feeling that you've done something for yourself. You know what's similar is what LE's doing right now with his channel. I'm going to skip down to the other comments. I'm sitting there stopping on some here. But LE, my older son, who also has a YouTube and a Facebook channel, for the first year or so of LE's videos, his content was all about I'm a Survivor and animals that I'm a Survivor. And he always offered a different perspective on animals that I'm a Survivor. Thank you. Someone says proud. Someone says accomplished. Someone says fulfilling. And those are, in fact, all synonymous with what's going on inside of my chest right now when I walk around this property and when I just see how beautiful everything is. And then as I'm slowly taking time to build things and improve it, paying for the guys that come do the pond. So it is very fulfilling. A lot of people take their YouTube and their Facebook monies and invest them in different things. But I was taught this from a very young age. My dad always taught us to invest in your property, invest in your land, invest in things that are tangible, because taking, let's just say $100 and going out one night, yeah, you can buy some girls some drinks, boy, you can have a great time. But the next day, you're going to be $100 broke, $100 poorer, and you're not going to have much to remember. There's no legacy in buying a couple of girls a drink, getting a couple of dances because you're a guy that got a few dollars in your pocket. There's no legacy in that. And so when you invest in your property and then you beautify things, that's where my dad always taught us, you invest, in your property. I've also chosen to invest in my family, and that's something that I've tried to do with spending time with my kids. Being that I'm divorced, and by court decree, your time is not even cut in half. You only get a portion of time with your children. So you really have to make sure that when you have your kids, you devote as much time as you can to them, because they grow up so fast. And I was talking about Le and his independence. This is a great topic. Le and his independence. Um, Le went through a phase where he was trying, and I think that all kids, Le's not a kid, but he's still my son, so he's still my kid. But I think that all of us have gone through a phase where we're trying to be independent from our parents. And so Le has chosen to take his channel in different directions. And he kind of went through a spiritual phase where he was soul searching. Everyone tries to find themselves at some point in their life, their spirituality. And so Le took us as his viewers down that path of trying to find his spiritual side. And then Le has also taken us down the path of his building his relationship with Megan, who is now his fiance. And so there's a lot of Le's channel devoted to his relationship building and how he and Megan fit like a puzzle. And then he's also has a thing for pets, but not so much farm animals as much as he does cats and dogs and animals like that. So Le has done well for himself. He's found a niche. I think the right word is a niche. He's found a subgroup of I'm a survivor who is completely content with watching a young man find himself spiritually, relationship wise. And so I know that Le feels empowered or fulfilled or proud because of the fact that there's still a following of people that are completely content with getting more than just I'm a survivor animals, but they enjoy watching that journey of this young man make his way into adulthood. And so I couldn't be prouder of Le. And I probably don't say that enough. I don't want to embarrass him, but I could not be more proud of Le. Le is a great son. Where'd that go? I'll just put that one right there. Susan puts a couple of hearts and she puts Le, and I could not be prouder of Le. Yes, someone talked about the turtle, the tortoise. I'm a failure as a father because I never taught my son the difference. Because guess what? I don't know the difference. I do not know the difference. I've made a lot of mistakes, and Le is a great, great kid. He's so loving, and he's so kind, and he's so caring, and I'm very proud of him for finding his independence. And so, do I sometimes wish that Le was more of a part of I'm a Survivor, and that Le was fulfilling some of the roles that I'm having to do as I get older and I'm slowly beginning to kind of, share my time with both properties? Do I wish Le was more involved with I'm a Survivor? Yeah, it would be easier. It would make my life easier. But remember what I talked about when the live first started. You have to look at everybody's needs and you have to accommodate to their needs. And Le has a need to be independent. And so it's not my place to tell Le that you have to come and you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do this. I let Le make his own way in life, and he's at the age where he's allowed to make his own way in life. And so I'm very blessed for the life that Le's chosen. I'll tell you this, and then I'll get off the Le topic. Le has never come home drunk. Never. Le has never come home high from smoking anything or taking anything. Ellie has never disrespected his mom or his dad ever. Never. He's never. Ellie is just a really great and easy son. And so, for those of you that follow Ellie's channel, it's a flip flop farmer, and he's on both YouTube and Facebook. Ellie has made found a way to make a living for himself, following and making his own path in life. And I couldn't be prouder. I could not be prouder. And so, a lot of people are noticing that all of the Morrow Hill has their own niche. I wish I could. Yeah, LE3. That is kind of true. I don't know if that's true anymore. I think it used to be more true in the old days. But when I'm a Survivor first started, and we were blessed in finding a group of people that had a similar love for the animals as what we did, the farm animals in particular. And so we brought these people together and began to offer videos where we told stories, where we told stories of all the animals. And then slowly, as we began to get other family members involved in video creating, you had Ellie, and then you had Jamie, and then you had my dad, Papa, and then you had Jake, and then you have Brienne, then you have Sister Kim. Did I forget anybody? Then you have Longhorn Lester. So what I think happened with that is you took a very large collective group of people who had an interest and a love of animals, and then we introduced them to other characters. But in this case, it was other storytellers. It was other people who told similar stories. And so Jake tells a similar story using the characters, but in his own perspective. And then my dad tells his own perspective of everything. And so Jamie and Brienne and Ellie and Longhorn Lester's. So you've taken that collective group, and different niches have gone off in different directions. And there are people now now that they found, let's just say my dad, now that folks have found my dad's channel, it's very rare that they come back and they watch a Lester video, because they found a home. They found a home where they feel comfortable with my dad. And it's starting to rain again. Isn't that beautiful? And it's the soft kind of rain that just covers and soaks, which is exactly what we need around here. And so there's also people that have gone off with Jamie. I say gone off like it's a bad thing. I have no resentment and no jealousy whatsoever. I'm super blessed to have been able to expose folks to different members of my family, and that they're able to find success in creating videos to entertain you all. And so, but there are people that now that they've discovered Jamie, can very rarely find time for anybody else, because videos take time to watch, y'all, and you only have so much time in your day. And I get that. And then, of course, we sit there and talk about uh, uh, our friends who we've met, people that or we have similar interests with in video creators, like Jason at Cog Hill. And there's people that have begun to say, hey, you know what? I kind of like this Jason at Cog Hill. I like that family. And now I say that we've lost a few people along the way by introducing them to new people. And you don't feel jealous. I feel happy that you found your place, your home on social media. And then, of course, Daniel over at Arms Family. And now he started helping DJ to build her page. That's his wife. And so, with every creation of every new page, I know that people are going to begin to gravitate off towards who they connect with, the same way we do in real life. Um, it's kind of funny, but talking about teaching, there was a time in teaching where our principal would force us to integrate our students at our lunch tables, for example. The kids at middle school and high school, they sit where they want to sit. But do you know there was a short period of time where our principal, if this is not the most ridiculous thing ever, our principal made us sort our kids where you could not have two kids of the same I don't want to say race, but it came down to race sitting together because she wanted the integration of the Spanish kids being more involved with the black kids, being more involved with the white kids, being more involved with the child from Mexico or wherever the child was from, the Hispanic student. And so if that wasn't the most uncomfortable thing ever, if that wasn't the most uncomfortable thing ever, and our principal thought that we were doing the kids a service by forcing them to integrate. And so it sort of become a problem with the parents. Believe it or not, the parents were the ones who complained because how bizarre was it that you're taking a child by their skin color and forcing them not to sit with others of their skin color, because you may say, well, we're asking them to integrate. We want them to become more comfortable. But then I think the argument was people choose to live in a neighborhood where you feel comfortable. People choose to go to a church where you feel comfortable. People choose to hang out, or you choose your friends with those that you share things in common with, where you feel comfortable. And so ultimately, by taking these kids during their lunch break, their 30 minutes of lunch, and saying, nope, you can't sit there, move down one, or you got to move down two, you cannot sit together, it was quite ridiculous. And so there are many of you that might think that she was doing something that was ingenious, but it wasn't seen that way from the community. And so at some point, it all went back to the way it was, where when kids come to lunch, they stand there and they go choose where they want to sit. And when they go to recess, here's another example. When it was time for PE, she would make, so you have your bilingual classes or your ESL. Those are all of your Spanish kids who do not speak English fluently. She would send one bilingual class with another class and made them team up. The other class could not be a bilingual or ESL class because she was forcing these kids to integrate, which in her mind would help speed along their English speaking skills. And so what would end up happening is in these classes, when they go to PE, they still end up finding themselves where they felt more comfortable. And so it forced the PE teachers to try to have to, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. So I'm way off the beaten path. This is nowhere on what a normal life looks like. And so where's Trixie? Trixie is where she's always at, in timeout. Trixie's in timeout. Can y'all read my lips? Trixie is in timeout. I would never highlight and showcase an animal who is naughty and who hurts other animals. And so, yeah, it's quite annoying for everyone who's screaming at me. Are you really going to scream at me for not answering your question? So Trixie's a chicken killer. Trixie is a little duck killer. Trixie is a vehicle chaser. Trixie has lots and lots of bad habits. And so you guys stop all the Trixie talk because you're wasting your time. We've made so many videos about Trixie. As a matter of fact, we have, I believe, every family member from Ellie to Jake to Brienne to Lester to Jamie, we've all made videos about Trixie and her bad habits. And so I think that sometimes asking about an animal who we've talked about 100 times is the same thing as being a peepat. You're demanding attention. You're demanding it. I demand to know. I demand to know. And so I'm not going to give in to your demands to go home and make another video about a very naughty little girl. A very naughty little girl. I love her. You can love people who are naughty, y'all. You do. But you should relax. Oh man, because there's a lot more things to think about and worry about than people who scream and holler at you to demand stuff. No one does well with that, you know. In the world that we live in, with a part of the whole, man, the flies are starting to come out. I guess I need a shower. And a lot of the people that begin to demand stuff are finding themselves in an ever becoming world that's not giving into demands. People are finally putting their foot down and taking a stand, and and saying you're not going to come here to be shouted and screamed at. And that culture is dying. How funny is that? But the cancel culture is dying, and it's dying fast. And so I'm not saying that there are injustices in the world that need to be looked at. And one way to look at those things is to uh, put pressure on sponsorships. But I'm a Survivor Sanctuary and Longhorn Lester. The only sponsorship I have is you. And so I've always said this: if you choose to cancel culture me and stop watching, then by all means stop watching me. But I don't think that this channel or none of the channels that are affiliated with us are going to ever give in to fist raisers and foot stompers, because that's a whole lot of elementary stuff right there. So I'm just going to stop talking about that because someone says, Trixie, where art thou? The ferrets were rehomed. There's videos about that. Is this all about? Oh my gosh. This is all about the animals that you have not seen. Now, if haven't y'all already learned that when we have an issue with an animal, we make a video about it? Duh. So why would we make a video about all these animals, yet just not talk about one in particular? And so you're not going to scream it out of us, y'all. If something goes down with an animal, we're going to talk about it, because guess what? That's a video. And so ultimately, you got to shame on yourself for not watching the video. Marcia is the most recent animal, the turkey, our female turkey, who we cannot find. But guess what? That was in a video. It was in a video that something's wrong with Bucky's, and I can't find Marcia. And so if you're going to, now you're going to say, where's Marcia? Where's Marcia? Well, I'm telling you, I don't know where Marcia's at, okay? I hope that Marcia has gone off somewhere to have babies. And sometimes a hen will become broody. And when they're broody, you sometimes can't find them. So right now we have hay. We've stacked all of our rolls of hay into our barn. And so Marcia could very well be somewhere laid up on some eggs. So I don't know where Marcia's at. All I know is that she's not up in her roost at night. So let me find. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Courtney, I don't know you, but I love you. Courtney, I don't know you, but I love you. Just putting that out there. I don't know you, but I do love you, because that right there is very well said. I can't say it, but Courtney does. And I hope that you're not embarrassed, Courtney, that I put your comment up there. But hey, your little picture is gorgeous. So Trixie's an asshole. Y'all let her be. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh no, guys, this has turned into a very boring commenter. Now you're asking about where's the deer? Where's the deer? What happened to the fawn? Guys, go watch the videos before you ask these kind of questions. Sheesh. Did I miss something? Where's Janky Jan? All right, this video has gone on long enough. The live has gone on long enough. Whenever it turns into, I don't know if it's the same people or, are you serious? Janky Jan? What's that been, 6 months? 6 months, and you're just now noticing, hey, where's Janky Jan? Oh my goodness. I'm going to find something that we can put up here. Here we go. What's that right there say? Show. So, Jamie's birthday is coming up. Do you know what you're going to get her? Hold on 1 second. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Jamie's not watching this live. She's not. I know she's not, because she's here with me. She's here with me. I don't know where she's at right now, but she's here with me, and she's not on the internet because I told her to turn your internet off because I need the strength. I need the signal strength. So I know she's not watching this. So none of you are going to tell her about this, okay? But I want to pin this around. Now, do y'all see that little pool? Do y'all see that little bitty blow-up pool? Okay, so we bought that blow up pool and we put it over here because sometimes when we come over here in the afternoon, we get us a drink and we sit in that little old tiny blow up pool. We made a couple of videos about it, okay? Just relax. But I have an idea. Do y'all know what a redneck hot tub is? Do you know what a redneck hot tub is? Someone please tell me you've gone to Pinterest and you've seen a redneck hot tub. They take a cow's watering trough, a big one. Now you can a cow water trough, they're like galvanized. They come in all shapes and sizes, y'all. They come in all shapes and sizes. I'm gonna buy a galvanized cattle watering trough, a deep one, maybe 3 foot deep or so. And look, that over there is the river. That's the river, right? That way, right there. That's the river. I'm going to take and I'm going to get some bags of cement and I'm going to make a foundation, a flat and leveled foundation. I'm going to put that cattle trough on top of it. I'm going to buy me a tankless water heater, a tankless water heater. I'm going to run a water hose into that tankless water heater and let it spill over into the cattle trough. A cattle trough comes with a plug, a drain plug. So unlike a hot tub or a jacuzzi that you can, let the water out of, if when we're done, I'm not going to put chemicals in it. I'm not going to treat it. I'm not going to deal with all the leaves that are going to blow into it. I'm going to set up that platform, that foundation. I'm going to put that cattle trough. I'm going to fill it with warm water, and we're going to come out here and we're going to sit there and watch that river and be romantic. Wait a minute. Now you're upset because I'm not getting her an animal? I don't think the timing is right for animals. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. So, once again, this is where I put a lot of thought into stuff. Animals, the timing is horrible for animals. Guys, we have a severe drought. A severe drought means our grass is dead, our ponds are empty, hay, we got only 28 rolls. I've had to buy hay for my dad. I had to buy hay for me. So it would be very unwise to go bring in another rescue that's going to require water, grass, hay. And so ultimately, I don't think that that's in the works this year. We get emails every day of different animals that are up for, someone's trying to surrender an animal and they would like it to become a part of I'm a Survivor. Uh, Someone keeps saying peacock, 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 peacock. Well, we've never got offered a peacock, okay? And the whole part of Jamie's birthday rescue is a surrendered animal. I don't want to go to the peacock store and buy a peacock because that takes away from the whole birthday rescue. So in this case, there's nothing that I think we should bring in. Now we brought in Annabelle because we knew that Moo needed her. Moo needed her. So I'm trying to be a little bit romantic, yet stay true to my redneck roots and put her a redneck hot tub right over on that high bluff bank where we can get in and we can sit there with our drink and we can just watch that river and we can have quiet conversations. And that's what I want to do. And so that is Jamie's birthday surprise. And so a lot of y'all are saying different things. And so, hey, I'm trying to be romantic here. And now you know my secret. So don't go off and tell Jamie. You don't need to go do that. That would be the meanest thing to do. Jamie's birthday is July 13th. So I have 13 days, almost 2 weeks to get this to happen. And so I already have it in the plans. I've already thought about it. I've gone to that little site that you all love so much, Pinterest, and I've seen lots of ideas. And I'm not going to make it permanent. I don't want it to be permanent. I'm not going to put stone around it and put a waterfall coming down because I'm going to drain it. Whenever we're done, I'm going to drain the water right off down the hill and I'll refill it the next time we have time to get into it. And so one of the beauties of this property is that Mr. Dub did run water and power all over this hill. And so I'm going to put it close enough where I can plug it in and get that tankless water heater to warm the water that we want. And that's going to be my birthday gift to Jamie, a redneck hot tub. So can y'all keep this a secret? Because I have a feeling that some of y'all are going to try to email her, and that would be so mean, and that's very unbecoming. Why would anyone do that? But so there you go. That's that. And yes, Jamie will be 40 this year, so she needs some romance in her life. There's not a lot of romance coming from over here. So anyway, let me try to find another couple of questions. Does anyone know what time it's getting to be? Because I do not want to keep y'all longer than what y'all need to be here. Thank you for keeping it a secret. And then love the redneck surprise. Oh, I may call the video that redneck surprise. But do you know that if I put the word redneck on a title of a video, Facebook's not going to allow it to play? They're going to put because that I'll get the little thing that says that I have violated the language, the use of my language has violated a policy. Because even though we can laugh and call ourselves rednecks, Facebook doesn't know that I'm calling myself the redneck. And so the same way different ethnic groups can call themselves names, yet no one else is allowed to. Yeah, redneck is one of those words. But I don't mind you guys calling me a redneck because I am self-admitting that I am as redneck as they come. Yeah, I am. You can also call me trailer trash. I'm okay with that. And you can call me cracker. Who would call me cracker? Whatever that means. Okay. So in Spanish, they call white guys bolillo, which is the same as white bread. So that's funny. Can we just go ahead and stop talking about names you can call me? Guys, I don't care. Call me whatever you want to. Call me, I don't care. Guys, this is the same thing as saying, where's Trixie? Lester, can I call you this? Lester, can I call you this? Can I call you this? Rojo. Okay, fine. Someone says, say rojo. 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 I can say rojo. So I'm proud to be a redneck. I'm a Southern lady. There you go, Southern folks. I am happy to know you. And so redneck, yes. Trailer trash, no way. Okay, well, to each his own, all right? To each his own. But to each his own. Anyway, gringo. Someone said, yo, that's true. Yes, I'm called gringo. Just think about all the names the kids in school would call me. Country bumpkin. Can we just call you a country bumpkin? And that's fine too. Call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for supper. So I know you're from the South because only Southerners use the word supper. Supposedly, folks in the North don't use the word supper. The Lord's Supper? The Lord's Supper. The Lord used it. The Bible can use the word supper, yet we ain't allowed to. So yeah, someone says, I'm a Yankee and proud of it. So guys, I'm a Southern Belle. Amy says, I'm a Southern Belle. Where's that at? Where's it at? Country bumpkin. Where did that Southern Belle goes? Anyway, I lost it. Sorry, everybody. But Eon says, I was a country bumpkin. I guess you're not anymore. So, all right, everyone stop saying what you call yourselves. Everyone stop calling him nicknames. I don't care, y'all. It's okay. Sticks and stones, everybody. Sticks and stones. I'm just happy you're watching the video. I'm just happy to have you watching my videos. But yes, it is raining. Wait, someone says Yankees don't say supper? Well, I do. Well, okay. And then someone in Canada says, wait, we say supper in the UK. And someone else says we say supper in England. I mean, in Canada. Man, they're going so fast. But anyway, I'm a damn Yankee. Someone stop. Just stop. Okay. So are there any more animal questions? Like besides where's Trixie? Are there any more legit animal questions about longhorn lesters or I'm a survivor? Are there any more legit animal questions about longhorn lesters or I'm a survivor? And I would love to talk about that. Pam says, may I call you son? And yes, you may, Pam. You may. You may certainly call me that, Pam. You earned that. So, all right. Well, I will just answer a question then that I saw recently. It was on this morning's video, and it was focused on why are we eventually moving to longhorn lesters? And to answer that, I'm going to say as of right now, no. My son Lex is 10 years old, And Lex needs and wants to be around his grandparents. You know, my mom and my dad will not be here forever. And so I would like to make sure that on the weekends and the summers when I have Lex, that Lex is able to spend time with his grandmother and his grandfather. And so I will not be building a house and moving to Longhorn Lester's anytime soon. Would I like to have an RV or a camper to sit here so I can spend some time here? It's definitely yes. And that is an option. And so I do think that with time, I'll eventually begin to put money aside and I will buy a small camper or one of those pull behind RVs that we can park there where Dub and Sharon had parked theirs. And that would be very, very nice to come over here and have like, you know, have your water and have your air conditioning. And that would be really, really neat. And we could spend some overnights over here without having to the discomforts of sleeping in the truck. I want y'all to say hi to somebody. Hey, sweetie, come here. Can y'all give me 1 second here? Come here, love. Come here, baby. I have a little couple of little girls that are conked out over here. I want to introduce them. Hold on. Ouch. 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 Come here, love. Come over here. Oh. Oh. Hey, did y'all hear my knee pop when I stood up? Did y'all hear my knee pop when I stood up? There. Look, that's my sweet Fiona. And she's sleeping right here beside me. Baby, what's wrong? You don't want to look at the camera? You being shy? Oh, she's being so shy. She's sleepy, everybody. This is Fiona. And she's just loves to sleep by day. She's very active at night and the afternoons, but by day, she's in a bad she's in a bad pattern. She's like my sons. They want to be up all night and sleep all day, especially here in the summertime. Oh, look at my sleepy girl. Now, I know you're going to say, "Where's Millie? Where's Millie? Where's Millie?" Well, she's right over here looking at me, and I'll go get her now. Man, my knee popped when I stood up, and I was so embarrassed about that. I hope y'all did not hear that. And yes, she's getting real big. Sweet baby, come here. Come here. Come on. Come sit with daddy for a minute. Come sit with daddy for a minute. So here's Millie. Come on, Fiona. You want to come back up? So look how different they're beginning to look. Millie and Fiona look very, very different. To me, the older they get, the more different they look. Her face looks, I think, more like the Great Pyrenees, whereas her face, come here, looks more like the Saint Bernard. Can y'all see that? Look at this cute girl. I love her so much. Oh, I do. Baby, wake up. Come on. You're not that sleepy. Even her licks are sleepy. Those are sleepy licks. Oh my God. Are you going to fall asleep right there? I love you. Hey, sleepy licks. When's the last time you've had a sleepy lick right across the face? So yeah, they're doing great. They're getting a lot bigger and they're staying in front of the fan. I know a lot of folks were concerned about the dogs here and how hot it is, but we brush them quite a bit, trying to brush any of the excess fur off. You can't shave these dogs. You're not allowed to shave them like that because that's actually worse for them. But we do have a fan that we keep on all the time, and they get in front of that fan and they have their little pool. They get in their pool. Right now, she's pushing my computer around, baby. And so they're doing real good. They very active. I like it when I come here early in the mornings or when I'm here late at night. And so the difference in them in night and day, well, it's night and day. The difference in them by night and day is night and day. Anyway, yes, someone says they really enjoy the little short reels that we've been doing. That's been a lot of fun. Having some time to do some jokes with the kids and with Jamie is something that we enjoy doing. When will you get your new lights in the goat pasture? I don't know. I'm at their mercy. That's up to the light company. They have to come by and trim the trees first, and then they'll come put a pole and put me a big old bright light. And so um, I think that we're about done, guys. A lot of the questions have already been answered. Did Pearl clean herself up? You got to watch this afternoon's video. You have to watch the Longhorn Lester afternoon video because guess what I did? I cleaned up Pearl's girl parts. I did that. I take credit for that. Uh, it was about time. It had to be done. So I'm just going to leave it at that and leave the rest up to your imagination. Is Annie pregnant? I have no idea. I hope so. I think so, but time will tell. And the dog Maggie, who does she belong to? God, come on. Maggie is my dog. If y'all have not learned this about Jake, Jake brings home a lot of animals, does he? But he didn't hold on to them very long. His little goat Beth now belongs to Brienne. That cute little pig Copper now belongs to us. What else? I love Jake, but he's like a lot of people. They get excited about something up front. Oh, they love something up front. They're so excited up front. But with time, the new wears off. The new begins to wear off. But I'm just happy Jake's making more videos. So y'all need to be happy about that and leave Jake alone. Stop saying mean stuff to Jake. And if someone's saying mean stuff to Jake, then the other rest of y'all get onto their ass. Don't let no one come. Well, hold on. No, don't do that because I think people like that. There are people that love to get the attention. And so they can say something mean, everyone else start getting on to them, and they're just thriving. Yeah, yeah, look what I've done. So I don't know. I think just ignore them and just don't even talk about it. Seriously, don't talk about it. Have y'all noticed that today? The less that we talk about something, whoever the trolls were early on, are they still there? Because no one is saying it anymore. So I think that if you just begin to ignore them, they start feeling pretty lousy about themselves. And so maybe you're right. Maybe y'all been right the whole time. Lester, if you would stop giving them the attention, they'd stop making negative comments. Well, maybe so. And so, no, don't say block button. Don't say block button because that would take all day to block all the haters. And who wants to spend their day blocking people? Not me. I'd rather spend my day making videos and getting slow face licks by the puppies. So, anyway, all right. Well, it does feel good to have warriors in your corner. I will say that. But at the same time, we don't want those warriors to spend their day being mean to people. So I don't think there's no way to avoid some of the negativity. And then I'm so sorry I can't. What is Billy's future? I can talk about that. And that scares me. This really does scare me. Hold on a minute. I'm going to try to pull that back up here. Well, now I've lost it. So there we go. Robert, I think I've posted 2 of your comments already. So Robert says, what is Billy's future? Guys, that's out of my hands completely. That is completely out of my hands. If I had my way, Billy would simply move over into the pasture where we used to have techs. And that would put whoever's over doing the morning chores at I'm a Survivor would have to be the one to make sure that some animals go out back, but Billy stays in the front. And so is that the best life for Billy? Probably not. But the other option is what? So I don't know how long my dad will leave Billy right there in that pasture because, like I said, hay is expensive, grass is not growing. And so I worry about Billy because I love him. And so that's going to have to be something that my dad will have to decide at some point. He'll have to weigh the odds of love versus what he can afford to do. And if in fact he decides that Billy's eating but not producing anything anymore, a lot of old schoolers like that, they don't keep animals around that don't produce for them. So my dad doesn't run a sanctuary, so don't get on my dad about that. My dad does not run a sanctuary. My dad has always had a hobby farm where he has moved cows as need be. You let your heifers have 5, 6 calves, and then you move the heifer along. You let a bull have a couple of generations, then you move the bull along. And so you're not going to change my dad. He's 77 years old. You don't go by and you do not tell a man that age what to do because my dad does not run a sanctuary. My dad did not bring in Billy to have a forever home. And is that fur or is that mine? That's just me. I thought that I had puppy fur, but it's just my own fur. So that would be foolish to get onto my dad because of he doesn't run a sanctuary. But I will say this, my dad will not eat Billy. My dad does not process his own animals to eat. So I hope that that can be some, you can rest assured in that. And so whatever happens to Billy is, I'm not real sure, but it's very unlikely that my dad would send Billy over to become the new Tex because that would be hard on Billy to look over and see, his old home and his old stomping grounds, sitting there watching Moses hang out with what used to be his herd. And but if my dad offered Billy to us, and that's what I would do, is put Billy in the pasture with where Tex used to live. And someone says my dad's already answered that question. So I don't know. Then you're asking the wrong guy because Billy is not my cow to deal with. And someone Shelby says that my dad has a plan for Billy long term. And then Linda says my dad says he's keeping Billy. And so I'm guessing that you guys already got that answer. So Lester, please save Billy. Guys, I just said I have no options in this. Me and my dad do not see eye to eye. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Me and my dad do not see eye to eye on most things. Billy is still intact. Yes, Billy is still intact. And so, more than likely, uh, the way it is with some people is you'll do the complete opposite of what they suggest. And so I don't know. I cannot answer for Billy. But does Billy miss Tex? I don't think so. I know for a fact that Tex does not miss Billy. So anyway, guys, I really do think that I've been on this long enough. I've gone through where I'm seeing repeated questions, and this could go on all day. I could talk to you all day, but it really is lunch with Lester. Except I have no lunch, and I hear a boat on the river. Y'all hear it? The river is so wide here that these John boats, they're called John boats, I believe, the little small boats with small motors, they go up and down this thing. And I hear a boat passing by right now. So, okay, my friends, I'm going to get off. I love you guys. I want to tell you that I appreciate you for sticking around with me. And make sure that if you don't already watch the Longhorn Lester videos, I think that you would be pleasantly surprised with some of the content. I am able to do things with Longhorn Lester's content that I can't do with I'm a Survivor. And any of y'all who have watched those videos, you know about this. And I think that you appreciate it. There have been very few peepats on Longhorn Lester's page because I'm not constricted by the same chains I am on the nonprofit I'm a Survivor. And that's in itself has been exhilarating to know that I can be myself. I'm not having to watch whatever I say. I don't have to bleep a lot of things out. And hey, today I'm actually going to work on Pearl's private parts. Who gets to do that on a video? This guy. So, anyway, go. Okay. All right. Enough, guys. Here comes the questions again. Everyone have a safe 4th of July. Happy Canada Day. Eh? Everyone say A at the same time. Y'all ready? On 3, everybody in the comments are going to put A. I think they spell it E-H. E-H. I believe they spell it E-H like this. So, are y'all ready for this? I might be wrong. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here they come. Oh my gosh. Here they come, Canadians. All you Canadians, here you go. I hope that you're happy. You could a bunch of Canadians. Wait. Someone says AY. I don't know if it's AY. I need a Canadian to tell us how we do it. Come on, Canadians. Someone from Canada. Lana Banana, if you're still on here, how do you guys do that? And why do you do it? That's what I want to find out. Why do you do that? Why? Can someone tell me why? Okay, Kathy. Kathy, can you tell us why you guys do that? Where does that come from? And why do all of y'all say that? Because that's what we need to find out. That's what we're trying to find out. And no one can tell me why. No one wants to tell me why. Or I bet you're all trying to Google it. I bet you're all trying to figure out, wait a minute, because we are Hoosiers, what does that mean? Aye, aye, Captain. Not aye, aye. Aye, aye, Captain. We're not saying, Brenda, we're not saying aye, aye. We're saying, hey, I don't know. I love when Canadians say about. Why? What do they say? Okay, here we go. Someone says it's A and I'm from Canada. Okay, so fine. It is. So I did spell it right. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait, where'd that go? I've lived in Canada my whole life and I've never heard anyone say that. No, you have not. I've been on vacation to a Canadian resort. The first year that I met Jamie, and she took me on a vacation, it was part of her work. They do these crazy work trips, and it was to a resort in Mexico, but it was owned by a Canadian company. And so the Canadians had a special discount to use this resort. And so I've never met more Canadians in my life. I've never met more Canadians in my life. And here's what I've learned about Canadians, two things that I know for a fact. Number one, they do say a lot, like every breath. And then number two, the Canadian men are the most competitive men you'll ever meet, ever. There may be other countries I've never met, but a Canadian man, maybe even women, Canadian men are so gosh darn competitive. Or maybe it was just because I was an American, but we found ourselves in this resort, and during the pool, in the pool, they would have these organized games, sports, either pool basketball, pool volleyball, pool water polo, I think. And so we were playing these games, and every single day, these Canadian men, younger than me, older than me, it didn't matter. They played with this ferocity inside of them. And I don't know why, because I came home from that vacation beat up and bruised. And I told Jamie that I have this new respect for Canadian men because I've never seen such competitiveness. And so it was crazy to me. And so I don't know where that comes from. Or maybe it was just because I'm over there like, hey, y'all. Hey, everyone. Hey, ladies. Maybe they didn't like that. Or maybe when I went, cannonball, psh, maybe I pissed a bunch of people off. I don't know. But I'm joking, obviously. Hey, or hey, you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye now. End broadcast. Still trying to end the broadcast.